Greetings and welcome to MentorMe Memorable Moments, where we teach you a total life balance, which includes good health. Good health is good mental, good spiritual, good social, good financial, and good physical health. Each component is intertwined yet interdependent, creating a single health entity. Yeah, so I am Tracy Everett Duncan, your host, and I'm here with my co-host,
William Craig III.
All right, always the third. And this is going to be a fantastic program tonight because
As usual.
We brought in all the tenants.
Yes.
And you want to know who we are?
Please tell us.
We are MentorMe Memorable Moments. Mental health. Why do you keep doing the same things over and over again, expecting a different outcome? That's insane. You're stuck. So let me help you get the stuck up out of here. We talked about the angry black female unleashed. We talked about how derogatory that statement is, and it's amazing how some people don't think that there's a problem with that statement at all.
What is the perception that I have about this woman that causes me to call her an angry black woman? And I believe in most cases what you will find is she's not an angry black woman. She's probably just an angry woman because of whatever has happened or whatever's going on, the foolishness that needs to stop. And the bottom line is that if you were placed in the same situation, you'd probably
be angry too.
Angry.
Okay, hello. Social health. Stop. Wait a minute now. It's not all about empowering the people. It's about growing businesses, creating entrepreneurships, and synergizing communities.
I was teaching, it was long-term unemployment and long-term, she was on public assistance for many years. And her son was getting beat down going back and forth home. So I asked her the question. I said, so you want him to get shot, killed, or what?
That's right.
Before you move. Oh, I can't move. We've been there for this many years. I'm on Section 8 and I get some. I said, so you care more about Section 8 than you care about your son getting back and forth to home?
That's right. Financial health. It's not all about the Benjamins. Let us teach you money management techniques and help you get ready for the currency change. It's coming. Talking to you about goals and destiny and spending and money, and you're saying, well, I don't have any of that. I'm trying to teach you how to go get it, how to find it. I mean, it's right there. Broke has nothing to do with money.
Wow.
I want you to know that.
Tweet that one.
Yes, broke has nothing to do with money. Physical health. It's not all about the exercise. It's also about your heart rate and healthy eating. You know, the importance of detoxing. I don't think there's a question of should I detox.
Indeed.
I think it's when and how often.
How soon can I get started?
Oh, yes. This is actually a prosthesis of a breast. And I got this in 97 when we were teaching down at the Salvation Army.
Okay.
And so in this little plastic thingy, there are two types of tumors. I want to know if you can detect them both. When you're feeling that hardness and how large that is, that's a danger. That's a different stage of the tumor or the cancer.
Sure.
That requires an extensive amount of treatment to have it reduced.
Wow.
At that stage, it may be too late. Spiritual health. Everybody has to be connected to a spiritual being. It doesn't matter if we serve the same one. You need to be connected so that it will sustain you during challenging times and keep you balanced. Mental health. There's a doctor in the house, Dr. Michelle and Felicia Jameson. Social health. William Craig III and Dwayne Ross. Financial health. That's me, Tracy Everett Duncan, but you can call me Ted. Physical health. Welcome, Dion Shaw Bush. She's going to take your breath away. And spiritual health is the premise of our program. It's all of us. So connect with us. MentorMe Memorable Moments. You can find us on social media, www.mentorme411.com, Twitter, at MentorMe411, and Facebook, MentorMe Memorable Moments. And our home is right here with Listen Vision Studios And we are live at Sunday, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time at WLVS Radio. We'll be looking for you. Greetings. Welcome back. Yes, we are. MentorMe Memorable Moments is live in the studio with WLVS Listen Vision Studios.
Yes.
And we're right outside of Howard University, Washington, D.C. Georgia Avenue. And that's where we're taping from every Sunday evening, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So we want to say welcome to
150 nations around the world and these 50 United States.
Exactly. I've got in the studio the social health program co-host William Craig III, Dwayne Ross. So we've got two great programs ready for you.
And by the way, she's your host, Tracy Everett Duncan, but
Yeah.
you can call her Ted.
You can call me Ted. Yes. Okay. So look, you know what? Social health is always a powerful segment for us. And Dwayne did an awesome job these past couple of years you've joined us now.
Going to number 3 right now.
Yeah, and
It's amazing.
excited. You know, he's always out there in the streets, in the neighborhoods, just catching on to what's happening in your community. But
Touching
you know
lives.
what? Let me give you a little view of Dwayne Ross in his segment called The Chop Shop.
This is a kingdom banger. What up? It's the chop chop. It's time to bring that weight to the front. It's time to chop it up. Let's get it. For sure, we gon' just call this the chop chop. Big up Epiphany. It's the chop chop. Let's get it. The chop chop. Let's go. Hey, what does it take to make you chop chop? Maybe in the face of this weight.
Hey!
Watch out. Hey, it's me, D. Ross, Dwayne Ross from the Chop Chop. And this particular time, we're just going to talk about and kind of wrap up some things. You know, we had an excellent season last season.
We did.
Right?
It was powerful.
We had so many things. We had Dex Elliott,
Yes.
calling in from
Hey,
California.
Dex.
Hope you're listening in. You know, where with Brown Rice Productions, we had we talked about the incarceration rate of women.
Yeah.
And the increase that's happening,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
in
where
our
my heart
prisons. We talked about our youth and how many are right now spending their birthdays behind bars prior
Right.
to 18.
For life.
Being born.
For
You know,
life.
14,
Yeah.
and then we talked about those that are born
Yeah.
behind the gate. And, you know, we talked about the Cain legacy, you know, from the Bible, from the beginning, how a brother could kill another brother. And so all through the year, we talked about a lot of the issues and concerns. And, you know, when you think about social justice, you want justice. And, you know, you hear it all the time. We want justice. We want peace.
Yes.
But just last month, 3 more national headlines of individuals shot down in the street. None of them were armed. And in most cases, the people are saying, what is going on?
Right.
What is happening? And, you know, there's thousands of lives that have been snuffed out prematurely through this Cain legacy. You know, the idea that another person can kill and destroy another life and move on and have coffee and just kind of go on with their lives, right? We talked about young ladies who are in prison whose whole purpose in most cases is the nurturer, to have relationship. But now when you find out they're being placed into solitary confinement,
Yeah.
Right.
and what does that do to the psyche
Yeah.
Right.
of a nurturer? We talked about gender miseducation. Some people are confused about who they really are.
Sure.
Right.
Or because this is a nation that's currently saying we want inclusion. We want to support this community and that community. But then when that community comes forward, they're treated as second-class communities. So we talk about the LGBT community
That's right.
not getting the respect that they need to get. And then where does that fit in the biblical principles? So we have so much to talk about. And so I was looking at some of the comments. I was looking at some of the different things that you have said when you write or you make a comment in a post. And it had me thinking about this season, because there's a lot of things that we could talk about that's from last season, but there's also some things that we need to just kind of touch base on moving forward. And so, as we talk about social justice, I also want to hashtag social empowerment. Let's look at some solutions. Let's talk about
Right.
some solutions, because see, there's some specific things that are going on in pockets across the nation. But one of the biggest things that we have to look at is the unity between our efforts. How can we bring people in and share what exactly are they doing to reduce the incarceration rate of young people who are incarcerated for nonviolent offenses? And what really caught my attention prior to starting the show just, a week ago, was there was a comment made, and it says, "I'm tired. We got to do something." We talked about the relationship of daughters with their fathers and what's going on when that's strained and what happens
That's
with women.
right.
Right.
But we also talked about these young boys, black and brown boys. We talked about what President Obama started off with, this initiative, My Brother's Keeper.
Right.
So this whole show goes back to that premise. Am I my brother's keeper? Am I my brother's keeper? And if I say yes, then that puts me in another category. I'm not in the category of talking about the problem anymore. I'm in the category of doing something. People could talk all day about the problem. We could talk all day about the issues. We could talk all day about what's happening here, what's happening there. But what are you doing about it? Where is your action? So, we're going to be really diving in on some things this year, okay? I want to make sure that you connect with us, okay? They're going to connect on the website, right?
Right.
Through,
They can still go to the website right now.
Yes.
www.mentorme411.com.
Let's do that right now. Go there. Say that again.
Yep. MentorMe411.com. And you'll see the profiles of each of the health broadcasters at the top. Click on Dwayne and connect with him.
Yes, go to the Facebook page. And I'm actually excited about that because, when we talk about where we're going and what we're doing, we want to connect with you more. We want to get your feedback. We want to get your concerns on the table. We talked about the school to prison pipeline. There is a industrial complex that is so big in relationships to that is crazy. That a 5-year-old in preschool is not given the tools to relate. He or she is sent home, just as he or she will be sent home in secondary school or in middle school or in high school. They're not even going to detention anymore. They're going to the penitentiary. They're going to the detention center.
Wow.
And that system is very, very lucrative because they have changed to make prison a profit center. Right?
And just, I was very encouraged to hear there are some places that have actually changed the laws and rewritten the laws that prisons are no longer to be privatized.
Right.
In
That's
certain
right.
states.
Yeah,
That's
certain
right.
states. But the states where they are, and let's look at like New York City, right? Where you have the highest rate of dropouts.
Okay.
And you have the highest rate of kids going to detention centers from school. And then you find out that when they are released back into society from that detention center, they can't go home to their environment because maybe their mother is on social aid. And because he's on aid, they can't be in that same house. So what do they have to do? They have a home set up down the street for them that might cost about $2,700 a month for them to attend there. That's the taxpayers' money.
Right, of course.
But it's privatized for investors.
Right.
So they're investing and profiting off of our lower income people in society. And it's okay.
But you know what I would love to know is, I know we find a lot of these infractions here in the United States, but what's happening out there in 150 nations?
Yes.
In
awesome.
all 50
in all
states.
50 states.
Well,
Right.
what's going on out
so
there?
go into the website, go on to the Facebook page, connect with us, and tell us what's happening, what's going on in your neck of the woods, what's happening in your city. You know, what is the championship that you guys are? What are you standing behind? You know, the other thing is, you know, when you talk about profiting from poverty, you're also looking at profiting from ignorance, because people don't really know. They don't even know. Because I heard something about young people who, you know, they have a small infraction, and this is kind of like the drug habit situation. A drug dealer will say to you, "Oh, don't worry, here, just take this, and that's free. That's on the house." Right?
Yes, they will.
And then you get hooked.
Yes,
Right.
that's right.
And then you come back for that next hit.
gonna cost you.
It's going to cost you a little bit. And by the third hit, I got you.
Yep.
That's right.
So I put you out there and I say, okay, you're going to go, you know, to this detention center, but we're going to let you out. You come home, you know, you come back into your environment, and then you have another infraction. But on that second infraction, you didn't realize that you just said okay to a felony offense that was a light felony offense. Now I have you in my sights.
Right.
And I have you in my system. And there's hardly only two ways people truly try to get out of that thing.
But when they set them up by removing them from their biological parents, and put them in a strange environment, they're inviting those things to happen.
Wait. Did you just say take them out of their land and put them into a strange land where the laws is
No,
different?
How can
Okay.
we sing a new song?
That's
Strange
right.
Land?
You understand?
Yeah.
So how big is that?
It's
You know,
huge.
That's diaspora, right? That's what happened to us.
Yes, it is.
And
Yes,
that's
it
a whole
is.
nother
It's
story.
huge.
Right? We talk about the youth incarceration rate being so large that America has the highest rate of incarcerating youth in all ages, all nationalities, but it's totally skewed when it comes to black and brown children. And females right now is the highest level.
Yes, they are.
They are putting young ladies who are expecting behind bars, and then those same ladies are going into solitary confinement with the baby already in them. What is happening with the psychological, the physiology, the biology of this person who doesn't get what you need?
Because we need to be hugged and touched and
Nurtured
held and
told good things and spoken to in ways that are
we need that social
not so harsh,
interaction.
and
Exactly.
We need all that.
And when we don't get it, we become hard.
we become dehumanized.
Yes.
Very good.
And that's going to be like how I get to the end of this. Okay, but we have the miseducation of the black people, right? The miseducation of those who are involved with crime. They don't even know when they say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and bargain. They're bargaining with the devil. They're bargaining with a system that is already determined that if you bargain, you get to lose on every area. You
Yep.
have,
That's right.
you know, because you think about it, who has the money?
Right.
They don't have the money to go get a real great lawyer. And if they're not connected to a good social justice organization, they wind up in a situation where they have to bargain with the devil. They have to give over their rights in order to maybe go home and sleep on their pillow one more day, with the idea that they're not going to do anything else. But see, once you have that felony conviction or that light felony conviction, I can pull you over. I can put you in jail for anything.
That's right.
You can get a rapper.
Anything fabricated.
You can go get a matter of fact, there's a young man who hasn't seen his family right now. And I got to get more information on this. But here's what happened. So he was arrested. He was taken to detention in school. Okay, that happened. He went back into society, no problem. But then he got arrested for someone saying that he may have had a gun. Never had a gun. Couldn't prove it.
Right.
And he's been incarcerated for 4 years.
Wow.
awaiting trial.
Get out of here.
How much money is he making for that system?
Right.
And what's going on with his psychology? Because we just saw a gentleman who's been saying the same thing for 51 years. Oh, no, 46 years, and he was just let out of prison.
Yes,
Right.
that's right.
And they had all the proof all the time that he was not guilty.
Right.
But, through the process.
Well,
they
look
found-
at the what was it? One of the testers or drug testers that just confessed under oath in the courtroom that she sabotaged. Sabotaged these drug tests and sent these innocent men to prison. Now they're there. Everybody knows that happened.
Instead
When are they
of just
coming
saying,
out?
"Oh, wait, they have a mistake. Let's just check
just
this off.
check 'em out."
and check them out." Right? No, they're in there for months to years, and everybody knows they didn't do it, and that there was a corrupt system. So there's corruption from the beginning of the process all the way through. But here's something that a lot of people don't really pay attention to, and if you do, bear with me. But we know that our college kids are coming out and they're looking at a situation with no jobs, right? So we create this system that puts people in incarceration, and now we need more attorneys, more prosecutors, social workers.
Right.
So that whole system is dependent now on what you just created in that prison.
Right.
And that's part of that whole process. And the school district knows it. But they're going along with this zero tolerance law. That is just ridiculous. The zero tolerance law says that if you, get angry and maybe you throw your book in class, back in the day, if you did that, your teacher would come over and might pop you upside the head and say,
Right.
"Sit down, boy. What's the matter with you?
Right.
Get it together. See me after class." Now he says, "Go to the office." You go to the office. They have a handcuff for you.
Yes,
So
they
they
do.
have now the police are in all those systems. The police are inside the when you used to go to a guidance counselor and say, I have a problem. You don't have that anymore. You have a cop. When you go down the hallway and you talk to Mr. Jones, who used to wash the floor, and he told you, "Boy, get it together." Mr. Jones, he's not in the hallways no more.
No.
You have this cop. And so all these
I'm
systems.
smiling because what's interesting to me is that while that is true, at the same time, when the child acts out at home, the laws also say that I'm not allowed to
discipline them.
It is, like you said, it's a system.
You can't slap them around a little bit
No.
or nothing, right? And, I'm not advocating violence. Don't get me wrong, but y'all know when Grandpa or Nana or Big Mama or whatever,
Whatever
she
you
got
call
it to
them.
your collar and said some things or did some
Right.
things. You
Right.
change your tone.
That's right.
Right? But yeah, it's a system again
It is
because
a
that's what they
system.
wanted you to do.
Yes.
They know that you cannot discipline, and the Bible says a child that's not disciplined will
Shame
his
his
parents.
parents. Yeah.
Right.
Shame his
Shame his
parents.
parents. So what's happening? And we're saying, well, what's the problem? Blah, blah, blah. That is the problem. It's a systematic dehumanization. It's a systematic racism, right? And if you look at in America, for the black and brown, this racism thing is really deep, right? And we're going to talk more about that too.
But on this subject of discipline, I think parents also need to understand what discipline
What
is.
it really is, right,
Yeah,
right.
what
Not
you
corporal
can do
punishment,
and
right.
cannot do.
The
What
line.
you can use and
What
cannot use.
Like, we got whoopings.
Well,
with
everything,
iron
and
cords. I'm
extension
sorry, I don't
rods
know.
and-
Extension cord. Go out there and get me a switch.
That's right. Shoe, a belt,
Remember Anton
you know?
Fisher tied to the pole?
That's right.
I had that
Okay.
situation, and y'all know family
Come on
members.
now.
Y'all know what
We're
that
not
was,
that old.
and it wasn't like we didn't do nothing major, you know.
right.
But it sure straightened us out a little bit. Some of us, anyway.
We're sitting
I mean,
here
we
today.
I still got my arm from that paddle whooping. All right, wash them pots. Irma, you probably remember that. But and then the other thing is this: police brutality. It's just too much, not enough time to even touch that. Really, because that's not just one show. That's the rest of the season.
Yes, it is.
Because it happens every week.
Every
Yeah.
week.
It happens
Yeah.
every week.
And what's happening to the mind of the people? Now, there is a group of people who believe that that's the best way to handle situation. Hey, he feared for his life. I feared for my life, so this is what I would do. You fear for your life with somebody holding what? A book. You feared for your life for someone, I don't know, walking naked in the street. The young man was totally no clothes. It was obvious something was wrong. He had to have a mental health issue.
Exactly.
Someone calls you to your house and says, my son is having a bad day with me. You know, I just need help. He has a mental illness. He comes to the door with a screwdriver, and before 10 seconds later, he's dead.
How about the young man that was sitting on his mother's porch waiting for her to come home because he just forgot the key? His driver's license said he lived at that address. He wasn't bothering anyone. He wasn't doing anything, but a neighbor called the police.
A suspicious man.
Yes, and the police showed up and I think harassed him. Harassed him into handcuffs.
And then the young man who was standing outside the car, and the police officer says, show me your license. He walks toward the door to open the door to get the license, and the cop shoots him 3 times. You can hear him saying, what did you shoot me for? You told me to get my license. What did you shoot me for? And then it faded out because he died. You know, so, you know, when we talk about lives mattering, unfortunately, we don't see that in the white community. We don't see that in the white community. Not at the number that we see in the black community. We don't see that in people from other nations. Maybe African, because that just happened in San Diego. But we see it really a lot too much to even mention the numbers right now in the African American or the black or brown communities. And we have to come up with a different strategy, because putting your hands up don't matter anymore.
No, it doesn't.
Because we just saw a man put his hands up, had his hands up slowly. Obviously, car in the middle of the street. Something had to be off. And this young lady felt that she was in danger.
Yeah.
And you bet to believe, because there has not been a conviction. There has not been a conviction when they said, I fear for my life. Because what does that mean? So the fear, that racial fear that has been drilled into people, drilled from years, fear of the black man. You heard from the helicopter, oh, this is a big one. This is a bad one.
A bad dude.
Bad dude. What made him a bad dude from that far away? You just summed them all up in 2 words. Bad dude. Which gave her the right to destroy him. Forget that he's a father. Forget that he's a grandfather. Forget that he's a community leader. He's a pastor. Forget that he's a husband, a brother, an uncle. He's non-human to you. We need to deal with this inhumanity against humanity.
But Dwayne, it was like you were talking about cognitive dissonance.
Yes,
we need to
cognitive
break that down
dissonance.
this season.
This season, we are going to use that. We're gonna highlight that term in many ways, because you're going to see cognitive dissonance when it comes to all people. It's not a white issue,
Right.
because there are black people that need to open their mouth and they're quiet. There are white people who need to open their mouth and they're quiet. There are people from other countries who've already dealt with this, and really, like in Brazil, the police are off the hook. In Africa, some of the Congo, they're cutting off arms for no reason. So they're looking at us, America, the most powerful, whatever you want to call it, and they're getting all their training from us. And when they see this on a constant basis, what is it doing to the psyche? So we got to deal with some solutions. You know,
Yeah, we're going
coming to
I mean, we could really go on with just the social justice or injustice that you described.
Injustice. That's so interesting you said that, because I was thinking social justice, social justice, social justice, and the word injustice just kept popping up.
It is.
You know, and I had the pleasure of meeting. I went to the opening for the African American Museum of History and Culture, and I had the pleasure of meeting the CEO of the Human Rights Organization in Atlanta.
Okay.
And he made this statement. He said, the inhumanity against other people had to be trained into the people who commit those crimes.
Mm-hmm.
So what made them so unhuman or inhuman
Yeah.
that they have the ability to now dehumanize you?
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much for us to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
The solutions are going to be on the table. I'm inviting people to connect with us. I'm inviting people to talk to us. We're going to talk about the children of Israel, the original Israelites, and that whole thing for Africa. The Cain legacy again is coming up, but we're also going to talk about, Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you can say all lives matter, blue lives matter, but the reality is Black lives are the one where, we were the strange fruit on the tree.
Right.
We were from the
Right.
poplar tree.
I like that. Strange
fruit, and that hasn't changed.
No.
It went from lynching to just shooting you straight up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Whew,
nonviolent
okay.
offenders. That's another thing. I'm running out of time. Right?
Well,
Incarceration rate of the nonviolent offense. That's what made me think about this whole thing and move to this, because a young lady said, "I'm tired."
Mm-hmm.
What
Aren't
are we
you
going to do?
tired?
She put a big old help. What are we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
When we found out about a young man who is currently serving 35 years for stealing something less than $100.
But you know what, Dwayne, and we're all Christians here. We have a love for Jesus Christ. We do. And I know some people say, "Oh, that's that white man's religion." I'm telling you,
I make no apology for it.
Exactly.
It's not a white man's religion. What is the deal is? We've been miseducated about who Jesus really is, because remember, Jesus had to hide in Africa for 3 years with his mama and his dad.
That's okay.
So that's a whole nother hookup.
Yeah,
y'all. We got to really talk about this Jesus
So
thing.
when we do talk about your
That hidden
segment,
colors.
yeah, well, hey,
Hidden
all right,
colors is coming to you.
Tariq, I'm calling you.
We're calling you, bro.
We're going to break it down like the Chop says. We're going to take the meat of the word and chew it up, cut it up, chew it up, and feed it to you so that you can understand that these things aren't just happening, and it's not just happening in this dimension,
this state,
this century.
This
Yeah,
century,
exactly. It's happened
all
before.
over global.
It's just carrying on, really. So the situation may never change, but we're going to help you change in the situation.
Right, because you have to really realize that is this. The Bible says, "You shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free."
Make you free.
Not set you free. Make you free. And the only way you can be free is to understand your true connection.
That's right.
To this God that you serve. And I'm telling you, when we start talking about that part,
yeah, you're going to change your
solution.
Perspective on life. You really are.
You're the solution.
Woo! So thank you. How can they get in contact with you?
Just on Facebook, they're going to go to Dwayne Ross 247. That's at Dwayne Ross 247 on Twitter, and Dwayne Ross, Facebook.com/Dwayne DWAYNE ROSS 247. Hit me up right now. Go on there. You also, if you put some comments in the section that you heard this show, I'm sending you a free ebook. All right, I'm going to send it to you based on your comment. So go ahead and comment. Go to the website. Go to the center. Go.
Just go.
Go do it.
We'll see
Don't
you
think
next
about it.
week. I'm sorry, next month with Dwayne and the Chop. But we're about to move on now to William Craig III.
All right. We'll see you.
All right.
Okay, well, you know
Welcome back.
what? Hey.
And we're back.
And so here we go. As we go into this segment, what I like to do is really address an issue that has come up based on your feedback, things that you've been sharing. For those of you who may be new to the program, what you've seen, what we've been showing our viewers in the past is that part of what good social health means is actually starting your own home-based business and looking at what that means, and creating the type of atmosphere for yourself, financially, mentally, socially, spiritually, etc. But from a social standpoint, how that makes you stand out in the community, how you're able to contribute, how you're able to sow into the lives of others, as well as sustain your own well-being. And we talked about different opportunities that you could take advantage of. And as well, we even talked about what was the right business for you.
That's right. That's important.
Very important to do. So from that came a lot of feedback that basically said, well, William, while all that sounds good, I'm not sure just where to start.
Oh, okay.
Because it can become overwhelming.
Yes, it can.
Opportunity
It
can be
can.
overwhelming.
Yes.
And so what I wanted to take a look at today, if you please, would be centered around goal setting. Because we hear that a lot.
Right.
But goal setting means different things to different people.
Yeah.
And let me just give you an example that might help you hone in on what I mean by that. So you have kids in school, you give them homework, and you say, I want you to study for the test. However, not every kid knows how to study for the test.
That's right.
Because why? They don't understand what's really important. Or maybe they don't know how to prioritize the information. So they go home and they mark up the whole book as opposed to the meat of the information that's going to be on the test.
Right, because it's not taught on exactly how to go about it.
Or they just quit before they even start studying because it's too much.
They're
overwhelmed.
And so here are a few points that we're going to cover very quickly here in the time we have left. First of all, identify what's important to you in your life, using goal-setting activities and appropriate language to articulate what you want in your life. Explain what your dreams and goals are for both the short and the long term, as well as using motivating techniques to help you while you reach your goals, and then understanding how to deal with setbacks. So very quickly, as I go through my notes here, the first thing that I want to ask you, do you set goals already? Are you a goal-setting person? And what does that mean? You know what that means to you. And at the end of the day, do you write them down? Because it's been proven the people who set a goal and actually put it in writing are more likely to reach the goal than just the person who says, here's what I want to do.
That's
Right.
And part of the difference, I've heard this said so many different ways, but one of the differences between a goal and a dream is a date, is a deadline.
Yes.
So are you writing them down? And then are you reviewing them?
Right.
Are you going back and taking a look at those goals? Are you posting them somewhere where you can see them?
Are they realistic?
Well, that's another issue altogether, because some of the things you write down may not even be realistic.
That's right.
But I would be willing to bet that the majority of you there are not writing the goals down. You're not placing it somewhere where you can see it to keep it in the forefront of your mind.
Should they see it every day?
They should see it every day.
Yes.
In some way, shape, or form, you should be able to see your written goals every day. And then, do you reward yourself for meeting goals?
Yes.
A little celebration.
Huh?
Yes.
Right.
That's something my wife kind of got me into because you go to work and you come home, and you go to work and you come home, and then you pay the bills, and then you go to work and you come home, and you
It's
go
like
to work
in
and
a
you come home,
cycle.
and you pay the bills. And so at some point, where do you reward yourself?
Right.
Right, we got to do something cool.
We got to
That's right.
do something for
Specifically
us.
for us.
And so when you reach a goal, even if it's a small milestone, you need to reward yourself because it will encourage you to go
It's
on.
not selfish.
Right.
Well, listen, no,
And it doesn't
it is
have to be-
selfish.
but it doesn't have to
is
be
selfish.
huge.
No. Selfish in the sense of people think that when you do something for you, it's totally like selfish, like away from. But that's really something that's going to energize you so you can do
So you
better
can-
for them and do more.
I totally agree. And so here we go. Jack Canfield, he was the co-author of a great series called Chicken Soup for the Soul. And what Jack teaches is that we are the average of the 5 people we hang out with the most. So what does that mean? Well, what happens is so many times the reason why you don't reach a goal, or even if you've written it down and you're looking at it every day, is because you got these other people in your lives. And we did a segment
Voices.
sometime back about driving the buzzards away.
That's
Right,
oh
right,
yeah,
right, yeah.
yes.
And part of the problem is sometimes you got too many buzzards flying around your life.
Yes.
And they're stealing your
Vultures.
dreams.
Yeah, that was February 2016 for William.
14, right? 14.
Was it
15?
14?
I think it was 14 actually.
Oh,
14, 15, 16.
it's in the
happening,
archives.
right?
It's in the
Bottom
archives.
line. So here we go. But here's the problem with it. Because what happens ultimately is that we find a way to make an excuse for ourselves that, oh, it was because of this person, it was because of that person, when really it's because of you.
Excuses is the house, the nails that build the house of failure, right?
Bottom line. So
Okay.
here I want to say this. Getting what you want takes determination and drive, and it has to come from within. So sometimes, though, it is important that we surround ourselves with the right people in our lives who are going to help us, and we call those mentors
Yes.
and or coaches.
Yes, yes.
And so for some of you, while you may have the vultures flying around, you need Farmer Brown with a shotgun
Okay.
to hang out with you to help get rid of some of those vultures and those buzzards in your lives.
Is mentoring and coaching the same?
It is not the same. However, they
good
will
question.
play. They will play the same role in different instances, because whether it's a coach or a mentor, they are able to teach, they're able to guide, they're able to instruct. But at the same time, a mentor is pretty much someone who you look up to that swoops down every now and then that you can refer to on a semi-regular basis. The coach is the one who's in the shop with you frequently.
Right.
Right,
And
drawing out what's already in you.
That's what a coach does. It's not so much about the coach having accomplished all the things
Right.
you want to accomplish,
Exactly.
but the coach being able to look at you and saying, you know what, Dwayne, when you spend time with this person, I notice your productivity goes down. When you spend time with that person, I notice that you come back with a negative attitude.
Right, right.
So
right.
let's work on creating some situations where you're spending less time with these individuals.
It's like Jack
That's what a good
Nicklaus
coach
and all
can
those
do.
guys, they had coaches, but they never had a green jacket.
Exactly. Michael Jordan's shot coach never won a championship.
Never
That's
won a
right.
championship.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
But they need him. So here's the thing. What am I saying? I'm saying that you got to understand you. And when you understand you, then you get to a place where you understand what you need.
Ooh, say that again,
When
William.
you understand you get to a place where you understand what you need.
Tweet that.
As opposed to
Yes.
letting other people tell
Hashtag.
you what you need.
What you need.
You need to
What- yeah,
know
what you
what you need.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so, I want to move on quickly because again, the clock is my enemy today. But listen, at the end of the day, what you want to do is you want to set up what I call a life principle or a life vision. All right, a vision for your life.
Vision for
And this
life.
isn't something that's you're gonna sit down in one night and do.
Awesome.
It's going to take you some time to actually understand who I am. What am I called to do? What's my purpose? What's my gifting? What is it that I'm set out in this world to accomplish? Whether you believe you can do it or not,
Right.
write it down,
down.
and then take a look at chunking that up. So here's my life's goal. Here's my life's mission. Here's my life's vision. But what can I accomplish within the next year? What can I accomplish within the next 6 months? What can I accomplish within the next week? What am I doing on a 24-hour basis?
Ooh, breaking it
Who
all the
are
way
you
back,
hanging
breaking
with?
it down.
Bottom line, and that's a part of
Who
it.
you with?
It's not just who you with,
know?
but who ain't you with that you need to be
That's
with.
right. That's
Who ain't
right.
you with? That's Bernie Mac.
What are you reading? What aren't you reading that you should be
Right.
reading? What are you
Exactly.
watching? What aren't you watching that you should be watching?
What should you just totally stop watching?
Period.
Yeah.
So all of those things come into question. When you lay that foundation for yourself, now you are on the road to good goal setting. So let's take a look at laying the foundation. When you have laid a good foundation, here's what you're able to say with confidence. I know what my top core values are. When you look at corporations today, they have, back in the day, we had vision, mission, value statements, right?
Right.
So now pretty much we have vision and mission statements. But at the end of the day, you gotta have a value statement.
Yeah, you do.
Because if you don't know what your values are, then guess what? You'll go
Buy
along
into
with anything.
You'll buy into
Right,
anything.
right.
So here we go. Not only do I know what my values are, my family and my friends know what my values are. And that's part of the problem. I gave you an equation some time ago on my definition of character. And it is your thought process when you're with people plus your thought process when you're alone. Together, that equals your character. Because your character won't change.
Right.
Understand that.
Right.
Your character does not change. What happens is you change based on the situations that you're in. So when you're with some people, you do some
one
things.
thing.
When you're alone, you do something else.
So who are
Marry
you?
the two, that's your
And
character.
you
Who
can
are
be
you?
schizophrenic if you don't know who that is.
Exactly.
Listen, when you have laid a good foundation, you can say with confidence that my goals are based on my values. My goals, the things that I am working towards on a regular basis, are based on the values that I have. And here we go. When I need to make an important decision, I'm not basing it on emotion. I'm not basing it on what other people say. I'm
Ding,
basing
ding,
it
ding.
on my values.
That's right.
Listen, there's so much more I could say about that, but I gotta move on. And listen, MentorMe411.com. You can connect with me there, and certainly I'll be happy to give you more information. I did a class the other day, and a young lady said, "Can you do coaching with me?"
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
because at the end of the day, this is not being taught.
Right.
At the end of the day, we're going into the system where you often use the analogy of the hamster on the wheel.
Right, right.
And people, I know you're trying to find a way off that doggone wheel because you're getting nowhere fast.
Right.
And you could be an entrepreneur or entrepreneur, but you're talking about entrepreneurship. You're talking about coming up with something that they move out into this world that's going to benefit the world, but that's for them.
Indeed. So listen, how do we get down to business? I'm so glad you asked. Here's how you get down to business. Number one, you need to start selecting things that motivate you, but here's the important part, and make you stretch. Oh, I know you were like, they motivate you and they make you stretch. Why stretch? Because someone once said, when the mind expands, it never goes back to that original place it was before.
Right, it's going to be
All right.
filled.
Okay, unlike the
void.
rubber band that you pull, you expand, but it goes right back. But once your mind is open to new things, once your mind is open to possibilities, guess what? It can never go back.
It starts looking for even more.
It starts looking for more things to do, more opportunities that it can find. So you need to find something that, yes, motivates you, but number two, that makes you stress. Next, getting out of your comfort zone helps you create circumstances that you need, because that's how you get what you want.
Okay.
Think about it. If you look back over your life, guys, that girl, that fine girl, you know, the one down the street that you really wanted to talk to, the one in high school that you thought you could never talk to.
Wow.
It moved you out of your comfort zone.
Oh, yeah.
You had to go somewhere. You had to
some
become
things.
somebody. Come on now.
But you created that moment. You
Come
might
on
have created
now.
a situation. Yes.
In order
I like
to
that.
get
In
what
order to
you
get
want.
want.
So at the end of the day, it's the same as it is in all of life. That in order to reach your goals, you're going to have to create a space where, guess what? You're getting out of the comfort zone. Next, we have to select goals that, we have to select goals that are not the easy goals.
Right.
Why? Because that doesn't excite us. If I set a goal to get out of this chair and walk across the room, guess what?
Yeah.
Once I reach it, so what?
Right. It doesn't put no.
It
Power
doesn't.
behind what
It
you're
doesn't. No power. That's a good word. But it doesn't empower me to do something greater. And at the end of the day, that's what a powerful goal will do. That's what a life-changing goal will do. And so, if you want real change to take place, you've got to be willing to take some risks and go after what you want. Anybody agree with that in this room today?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And just make sure that whatever it is, it's not incongruent with your value system.
Well, again, we
That's
already
right.
made the
Because
statement.
you talked about value.
That's right. When you
And,
know that you
know,
have laid the right foundation, all of your decisions are made based on your values.
Because some
All
people
right?
might do stuff that's contrary, and
They
mess
haven't laid a
themselves
good
up.
foundation.
That's
That's
the
the
wrong
litmus
kind of
test.
business.
That's the litmus test. So here we go. Setting goals means you may have heard about SMART goals. Anybody
Yes.
heard that
SMART.
one? All
It's
right.
an acronym.
It's an acronym. Well, I got another acronym for you. Spirit. You need a spirit goal. All right.
Ooh,
So
spirit
here we
goal.
go. The S stands for specific. The P stands for prizes. We talked a little bit about that just a moment ago. Rewarding yourself. It has to be individual. This has got to be something that works for William.
Okay.
Not because of Tracy, not because of Dwayne, not because of Mary or Sue, but it has to be something that works for me.
Right.
Because why? I'm the one that's accountable to it. Not Tracy, not Dwayne, not
right.
Mary or Sue.
It's personal.
Next, it's got to be something that you can review, that you're going to review on a regular basis, because face it, life happens to all of us.
Yes, it does.
We woke up this morning and we said, hey, I'm going to take a jog around the track. And guess what? There's 3 feet of snow outside. Guess I won't be jogging around the track. So we need to review it. And then we need to also find the goal that's going to be inspiring. I talked about that just a moment ago. And then, of course, last but not least, it needs to be time bound. In other words, you got to set a date for accomplishing it.
Rival
And
date.
that goes back to what Tracy said about, is it realistic? Because in some cases, guess what? You say, hey, I want to be a millionaire in the next 3 weeks. Well, doggone
Right.
it, unless you
What
some
systems do you have in
shady
place to make
Casino,
that
here I
happen?
come.
and
You know.
if it's legal and you make it happen,
Right.
MentorMe411.com. Let me know.
We don't want
I'm
all
there.
that.
Oh, no.
Want a piece of that there,
I'm
right
there. Okay. Look, how do we get started today? So I talked earlier, mentioned this. This is so important. Prioritizing tools. You need some prioritizing tools. What do they include? Number one, some people use the traditional day planners. Okay, some sort of paper book where you write stuff down.
Right.
Here's what I want to do. Here's where I'm going to go. Here's who I'm going to see, etc. That if that works for you, go for it.
for it.
Today you have all kinds of free electronic systems.
Right.
Yes.
And that you can put reminders
Apps.
out into the internet that will actually remind you of things and let you know about other things that are taking place. You can create alerts, etc. The next thing is, Dwayne just mentioned it, various types of apps are out there. And then I introduced something to you some time ago called clickbank.net.
Right.
Which
Yes.
is another website that you can use that
Oh.
will actually...
You really want to
That
get the
university
message
is
on
pretty
that.
tough. It's
Yeah.
all video based too.
So
Yeah, they can learn a lot.
At the end of the day, you need to utilize something that's going to help you prioritize. Because why? You get weak. You're human. And every now and then there's going to be the French vanilla ice cream that calls your name when you said, I'm going to
Okay.
stay away for the next 3
gonna
weeks
call
and
you
try
soon
to
as you
drop
say
some
that.
pounds." Come on now. You know it happens to you. Or that phone call that comes in and says, hey, how you doing?
This is
I was
pizza
thinking
calling.
about you.
This is pizza calling.
All right.
The pizza
So at the end of
calling.
the day,
Pepperonis.
at the end of the day, you've got to use some tools to help you get this done. Bottom line, we talked about the fact that athletes and professionals use them, and if we have some time for some dialogue, we'll have it. But here we go. So you're now excited. You're ready to go. We're really excited about you. But here's something that I want to mention, because this was a problem with me. Not only is it great to get started, but guess what? You got to be able to sustain.
Yeah, follow through.
You got to follow through. Because, listen, the biggest challenge to you sustaining and following through is the setbacks that come.
Right.
And life
That's
issues.
right.
I was
Issues of life.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was telling me about his son, who he said the least little thing is like a major catastrophe.
Oh, the world is ending.
Exactly.
little, right? The world is falling.
The world is falling. The sky's
Sky's
falling.
falling.
And unless you're able to sustain yourself, when things happen, you'll shut down.
That's right.
You'll impede your own progress. Did you know you are your own worst enemy?
Ooh, say that again.
You're
William.
your own best friend, but you're your
Hashtag
own worst
that.
enemy. And
Tweet
so
that.
here's some things that you can do to help get out of your own way. Join a mastermind group.
Right.
Join
Say
a
it again.
mastermind
Say it
group.
again.
There's
Yes.
let's say a website called meetup.com.
That's right.
Meetup.com.
Any interest that you have, you can find like-minded people that you can meet up with for free in your area.
Or start
That's
you one.
right.
Or
start
start
up
your
one.
own.
That's right.
Bottom line, we talked about mentors and coaches. Get a mentor, get a coach, get an accountability buddy.
Right.
Somebody who's going to tell you, man, you're
True.
messing up.
Yeah.
Man,
They gonna hold you to it.
You need to get a hold of yourself. And many times that accountability buddy for me was my mom. She said, you need to get yourself together. Especially during those times when I broke somebody's heart and then I got my heart broken.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
And she
We
said,
talked about that.
Remember that one? Remember the
deep,
other
Shrek.
one?
You cut me deep.
Huh? Come on now. And then every now and again, you need to check in with yourself. I call it me time.
Ooh, mirror to mirror.
Every now and again, I just need to take out some time with me to sit down and talk and say, okay, how we doing?
Is that planning time?
You can
I
write
think
it in your book
yeah.
as planning time,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, no matter what you call it, it's important for you to check in with you. And then, last but not least, celebrate the successes. I go back to that.
Okay.
Right.
Because if you don't celebrate the successes, eventually you're going to say, why am I doing this?
Right.
But if you know you got something to look forward to, it's so much easier to stay on that track. Hey, I didn't reach my goal this time, but I got close.
Right.
And so I'm going to
Right.
celebrate. I'm going to do something for me. And so at the end of the day, what I want you to understand is that everyone has setbacks. So don't think just because you may be in a period, you may be in a patch, you may be in a rough spot, however you want to say it. You may be in a place where you're not seeing yourself move as fast as you want to, as
Right.
far as you feel you should have.
But keep moving
Everyone goes through those setbacks.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. But remember, you can get back on track. And as Dwayne said, you can keep going. All you've got to do is, number one, have a plan. Evaluate your plan. Make adjustments as needed. And guess what? Goal achievers are optimists. Let me say that again. Goal achievers are optimists. And I had a student not too long ago who actually asked me, what does that word mean?
Right.
Optimist.
Because they don't
Optimist.
know. You don't know how to use that word anymore.
He did not understand what an optimist was. But listen, if you in your own mind set yourself up for failure, you will fail. But if you in your own mind will set yourself up to succeed, guess what? You will succeed. And that's the story for today.
That's an excellent segment. And, I just want to make sure that our audience understand that
Yes.
this is social health. And these are two distinct differences in social health, different perspectives. But they
Right.
are.
They match,
Yeah,
actually.
they do. Absolutely. Because, Dwayne, you're going to be bringing out those causes
Right.
in those issues where I can't get a job
Right.
because
And
I have
they
a
have to
record.
have a goal. They have to have a vision. They have to have value. They have
Right.
to have a mission. They have to have all those things that William just spent. Many times we talk about the
That's
mindset
right.
of the people
It's
that
the
are having
mindset
challenges.
yet.
And this stuff that William is talking about can change it up. If you have a felony of conviction and you're trying to figure out how you're going to take care of your family, maybe you just need to just stop trying to look for a job and start
Exactly.
looking for a business.
Exactly.
Get your business plan together. Start looking at mentors. There are the other people who are major corporation owners who have a felony.
That's correct.
That's right.
But here we go. Something Tracy said, and you'll see it in her opener. It says this: broke has nothing to do with
Do
money.
with money. That's it. Yeah.
Nope, we even did a program on that.
That's
It has
correct.
nothing to do with money. And if you go into our archives, visit us on YouTube.
Yes.
That's where all of our videos are from 2014 to current. And that's where this one will be uploaded tonight as well. But if you visit us and you click on the social health, you can get caught up with both what William and Dwayne are talking about, particularly this year, William introducing how to start your own home-based business. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, it
The
was
tactics
powerful.
is- yeah, it's
it
just-
was
it's
really
amazing.
powerful. So that if I can't get another job, this is how I can really take care of my family and grow my income. And,
Yes.
and some
Your
of those
net worth.
ideas don't even cost a
Don't
dime.
cost a
Don't cost a
They
dime.
don't
Don't cost
cost
you nothing.
any money.
Yeah.
Do you
System.
hear us? You can get out of that community that you're
Right.
stuck in or you feel you're stuck in.
And you can always go back if you want to help, but
That's
you don't have
what
to
we
live
advocate.
in that.
That's
Yes.
what we advocate.
Definitely.
That's right.
And that's what
You
we're
know?
doing.
Exactly.
That's
It
what we're
is.
doing.
It
That's
is.
true.
Yeah, it's our umbilical cord. Is where we get
We're
our
connected
life
to
from.
that,
You
yes.
know, there's no way we can walk away
That
from
beat
the
is
community.
just different.
It
know?
is. It is.
That rhythm is just different.
It is. And to go back and bring people out and see their success and teach
Oh.
them to go back. Oh my, that's how we get
Yes.
free. And
Yes.
even if we're stuck in the community and we're under this duress and this harassment, we can still be free
Yeah,
in
it's
the
like
mind.
Dr. Cress said, you don't have to be a baby bottle society. You know, when babies finish with their bottle, they just throw it down anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, get some broomology. Go in
Yeah.
front of your little area and take the broom and sweep it up. You see a bunch of people just sitting around doing nothing. Engage them and find out what's really going on in this conversation. They might be talking about world politics, or they just talking about Jay-Z's shoes. I
That's
don't
right.
know.
All
But
right.
it gives you something to go for.
Yeah, you may have an answer for them, something that they've been seeking for some time. And we're not looking to save the world, just
Right.
one
One-
person.
All right.
That's
And here
right,
we go.
one
And you
person
may
at a
find
time.
your life's purpose in that conversation.
Oh,
That's right.
wow. You just
That's
said
right.
something. Say that again.
Yeah.
You
Wiz.
might find your life's purpose in one conversation.
All
One
right.
conversation.
All right.
But keep moving forward.
Stick with us with Social Health. The first Sunday of every month, you get to meet Dwayne and William, and we're going to start inviting those conversations.
Yes.
Call in.
Go to
you know.
DwayneRoss.com as well. That's another way you can connect with us.
So between now and then, because next week we're bringing in mental health with Dr. Michelle and our Felicia Jamison, the certified healing coach. Yes. They're coming back. And so in between now and then, we want you to be safe, be smart, and be healthy. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Well, I wear my clothes like this because I can. And I wear my hair like this because I can. And I walk around like this because I can. And I do my thing like this because it's who I am. And if you expect me to give you an apology for being nothing that you're used to, go right ahead and wait. Hold your breath and concentrate. Keep holding till your face turn blue. My road ain't your road, but just I know just where I'm going. My flow ain't your flow, but just I know just how I'm flowing. I'ma do my thing. Please feel free to hate and complain. Said I'ma do my thing. Say what you want, but this one ain't gonna change. Said I'ma do my thing. I can't wear my clothes like you because I'm not. I can't do my hair like you because I'm not. I can't walk around like you because I'm not. I can't do my thing like you, well it just ain't hot. And if you expected me to give you an apology for being nothing like you used to, but go right on and head away. Wait, hold your breath and concentrate. Keep going until your face turns blue. Take my road, it ain't your road, but trust I know just where I'm going. In my flow, it ain't your flow, but trust I know just how I'm flowing. I'ma do my thing. So please feel free to hate and complain. I'ma do my thing. And say what you like, 'cause this one ain't gonna change. I'ma do my thing. You don't know where I'm going, and so you think I'm lost. I ain't on your page, okay? So to you that means I'm off. When I dance to the beat of a drummer you don't hear and you can't see. So if I look offbeat to you, well the problem must be you, not me. Irregular but never irrelevant, unusual but never uncool. You're not cut from my clothes, you don't get me, well I don't get you either. A believer of the fact that unique equals love. So if I'm going too fast for you, open your mind and speed up.